For most of us, when we hear the word Yu-Gi-Oh, we think of Blue Eyes White Dragon, or maybe Dark Magician, or maybe late at night, Dark Magician Girl. My first memory of Yu-Gi-Oh was going to Target with my grandma, and she bought me not only one starter deck, but both Yugi and Seto Kaiba starter decks. That's right, your boy walked into class the next day like, all the girls wanted me, all the boys wanted to be me, even the teacher wouldn't be able to handle herself when I walked into class with those bad boys. And for most of us, Yu-Gi-Oh was a fad that came and went. We may have played the games and watched the anime for a few years, but time went on. Our Yugi and Kaiba decks were now old, and 6th grade is no place to be a nerd. You're an adult, for heaven's sakes. So what is Yu-Gi-Oh like now? Draw phase. Standby phase. Main phase 1. I will place a Kuribo in attack position, and I will set one card. It's a trap. You know I can hear you, right? I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever, bro. Alright, draw phase. Standby phase. Main phase 1. Alright, this hand is kind of garbage, but we'll go with it. Alright, we're going to special summon 17 cards onto the field. And then also play a blue card and a white card, whatever the hell these things mean. A black card, they just added that, I guess. And then these XYZ monsters. And also place 30 traps, spells. And yeah. That'll do it for my first turn. That was footage of me playing in a tournament last week. Joking aside, here is an actual turn 1 that I had to go against online, and I was blown away. We're gonna summon that shit. He's not gonna know what hit him. This guy's literally gonna be like, I have the most advanced deck in the world, and he's gonna get fucked by starter decks. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So this is a good buy. This was a good buy. You can add one A-lister the Invoker from the deck to your hand. The activation of this card. Wait, hold up, bud. No dice. Hold up, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, I beat this guy. You can send this card from the hand to your graveyard, then target one fusion monster you control against 1,000 attack to the end of the turn. Wait, what is he doing? What is he? What is going on? What is it? Does this? Guys, what the fuck is happening? He just got blue eyes on the first turn. What is going on? What I just witnessed? The fuck just happened? So if you're just as confused as I am, or laughing at how bad I am at the game and like to watch Noob struggle, then you've come to the right place. In this series, I'll be figuring out how to play this very advanced game and learning by trial and error. I want to explain what I've learned throughout the week, what things I like, what things I don't like, and figuring out how all these 10,000 cards interact with each other. If you're new to the game, I hope I can help make sense of the mechanics you are learning, as well as explain them in terms you will understand. If you're a veteran, I hope I can refresh your memory and be entertaining in my lack of knowledge. Yu-Gi-Oh has quite a lot to learn, and I think veterans of the game may underestimate how difficult it can be for a person who hasn't played since Blue Eyes was the end-all be-all. There are a lot of mechanics, nuances, and reading that every person must experience before being able to hold their own while playing the game. I want to show the struggles of learning and hopefully be able to explain thoroughly where I get stuck, where my knowledge falls off, and how I overcame a specific challenge that might plague new players. So without further ado, here is what I learned in my first week of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fusion summons were in the game when I played the Yu-Gi-Ohs, but they weren't as useful as it seemed. Fusion summons are the purple cards that live in the extra deck that need the card Polymerization to combine two monsters to create a stronger card. Back in my day, I never ran these cards because it seemed too hard to actually draw two exact cards to combine together with a third card in Polymerization. Nowadays, this isn't as difficult. First of all, you have fusion monsters that don't need specific monsters, but types of monsters like Fiend, Fire, etc. Let's take a card that I got for my latest Yu-Gi-Oh opening, for example, the BORRELOAD Furious Dragon. Instead of needing two specifically named monsters, you just need two Dark Dragon monsters. You can build a deck around getting this card onto the field with adding a ton of dark monsters and 3 polymerization cards. Not only are the monsters easier to summon, but you also have things like Fusion Gate that help you combine cards instead of having to use polymerization, or cards like Fusion Recovery that allow you to get more worth out of your polymerization. Spells like this has made fusion monsters much more viable and fun to use. I have really enjoyed using this starter fusion deck you get in the game I've been playing to learn, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. This deck allows me to play 2 or even 3 monsters on the first turn if I draw well enough. Now, from what I've gathered, this deck is garbage compared to a lot of competitive decks, but for someone new to the game, it seems broken. Speaking of broken, we move to synchro summons. Before we do though, if you are enjoying this video, consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss a new upload. If you want to join me on my Yu-Gi-Oh learning, consider following me on Twitch and join us in the Discord channel to discuss all things Yu-Gi-Oh. Synchro summoning works on combining cards that you have put on the field according to their level. For those of us that grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, typically you can play up to 4 monsters without tribute summoning, 6 star with 1 tribute, and 7+ with 2 tributes. With synchro summoning, you use those star ratings as levels that combine to summon your synchro monsters. Let me get into a scenario with how this works. Let's say you have Mecha Phantom Beast Jaculuslen. Why did I choose this card? Why not an easier to pronounce card? Regardless, it needs 9 stars to summon, so you could synchro summon this monster by combining a 4-star monster with a 5-star monster, right? Well, kind of. To summon a synchro monster, you must also have a tuner and non-tuner card. You will know if a monster is a tuner card by reading right below the picture the word tuner. You will know if a monster is not a tuner if it does not have the word tuner. It may get more intricate than that, but as far as I understand it currently, those are the 2 types of monsters. To me, I don't enjoy this mechanic as much as I enjoyed the new fusion summons, but it may be because the starter deck in Legacy of the Duelist isn't very good. It just seemed like a lot more work than fusion monsters, but I'm sure there are cards in the game that allow those summons to happen much quicker and with less resources. Speaking of using resources wisely, let's move to Xyz summons. Let's say you want to summon a 4-star Xyz monster. You can summon the Xyz monster on top of 2 4-star monsters on the field. Yes, you heard that right, on top of the card. The reason this is important is because now the monsters under the Xyz card are considered material. Each Xyz monster has effects that can be activated by using these materials, and this adds a lot of fun combinations. Once I figured this summon out, I got addicted to the deck I was using, and I didn't want to use any other decks in the game. This summon was a little confusing to get down, but once I understood this mechanic, I started to feel like a boss playing all these crazy cards and effects. Learning this summon really opened up my eyes to what is possible with this game and how complex it really can get. On that note, I don't know how many times I've said the phrase, "that's so broken," while learning this game. It seems like Konami looked at every set they released previously and thought, how can we make those cards obsolete and make the new ones broken as hell? Maybe not the greatest for getting new players into the game, but damn, it makes it a lot of fun when you pull off some crazy plays, and I haven't even begun to get into the actual meta plays that I'm sure everyone knows when they get further into this game. Effects of monsters are so impactful and integral to Yu-Gi-Oh, so I've only scratched the surface of learning this game. Now that I have the basics down, it's time to really grind out the reading of this game. There's so many cards to learn, and I know I cannot learn all the effects of every monster, especially when you have cards like this.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No, 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 no.
Now, I know I didn't get into a few different mechanics, like link summons and pendulum monsters. I haven't quite learned those effects yet, and I haven't quite understood exactly how they work, so I'm still working on those, and that'll probably be for next week's video. My plan is to continue playing through the campaign and maybe dabble into the online portion of Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. I want to then eventually transition into building a deck by finding one online. I think I want to try and build a few decks from an online deck list to learn a few playstyles and understand how to make the crazy plays everyone else seems to be able to pull off. From there, I'll transition into one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulators online and maybe grind out a ton of games against as many decks as possible to learn more and more about how each deck forms their win condition. Then maybe I'll find a deck that I can enjoy, I can build the deck in real life and use them for locals and eventually win the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship. And from there, who knows? But I hope you join me along the way. If you're interested in learning the game alongside me or want to watch me blossom from a noob into a beautiful Yu-Gi-Oh! Butterfly, follow me on my Twitch channel through the link in the description. I hope you all have enjoyed this video, and if you did, hit that sub button and click the bell to know when I upload the next video. Thank you all, and I will see you all in the Shadow Realm.